Now, West African leaders say they will decide Tuesday how best to move forward on Ivory Coast's political crisis after heads of state met again with the country's rival presidents. VOA's West Africa correspondent Scott Stearns has the story.
Both the African Union and the Economic Community of West African States have already recognized Alassane Ouattara as Ivory Coast's duly elected president. So the focus of the group's joint mission to Abidjan Monday was the man who stands in Mr. Ouattara's way, incumbent President Laurent Gbagbo. The leaders of Sierra Leone, Benin and Cap Verde offered Mr. Gbagbo safety and security if he agrees to leave power. But there was no apparent breakthrough in the standoff, as Mr. Gbagbo insists he won November's election and is protecting Ivory Coast against foreign interference. Sierra Leonean President Ernest Bai Koroma says the talks will continue.
We have had very important meetings following our mission from ECOWAS and the AU. And at this stage, I can only say that the discussions are ongoing.
ECOWAS leaders were joined by the African Union mediator to the Ivorian crisis, Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
We came here as a joint delegation.
Nous sommes venus en tant que délégation mixte
of African Union,
de l'Union africaine
ECOWAS,
et de la CEDEAO.
In order to have dialogue,
pour essayer d'initier une discussion
with a view to resolving the crisis
en vue de résoudre la crise en Côte d'Ivoire.
West African leaders say they'll decide Tuesday how best to proceed after discussing Monday's talks with both Mr. Gbagbo and Mr. Ouattara. West African officials say they are considering military force to remove Mr. Gbagbo if he does not agree to go peacefully. But Mr. Gbagbo is still backed by Ivory Coast's military, so a battle for control of Abidjan would be costly. Mr. Ouattara says Gbagbo militants are killing his supporters, and he wants the International Criminal Court to investigate. The United Nations estimates that more than 170 people have been killed in post-election violence, but its peacekeepers are being blocked from reaching suspected mass grave sites. With Mr. Ouattara unable to leave a resort hotel protected by UN peacekeepers, Mr. Gbagbo appears determined to prolong this crisis as long as possible in hopes of weakening near unanimous international support for Mr. Ouattara. Mr. Gbagbo is using state-run television to portray that support for his rival as evidence of a plot against him. Scott Stearns, VOA News, Dakar.